Okay, clap sync. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
Go ahead. You can go ahead and do the intro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Adultish podcast. My name is Nick. I am 18 years old, and I live in the Midwest. That's your cue.
I thought you were going to introduce. I'm Mitchell. Most of you probably already know me. I am also from the Midwest, and I'm 18 years old. Joined today by my co-host, Nick.
And my co-host, Mitchell. This podcast, we noticed a distinct lack of media from teenagers commenting on the messed up world they're going to inherit from their parents. So we decided... Shut up, Mitchell. We decided to do this podcast. We decided to do this podcast because we are not adults. We're adultish. We're getting there. So this podcast will be half social commentary, half jokes, and the other half is a surprise. So stay tuned.
Also,
guess what the other half will be.
This is an idea we've had for a long time. I believe you first brought it up Thanksgiving of last year already. You're like, hey, we should start a podcast. I was like,
yeah, but we didn't know what we were going to talk about. But now that we're 9 months older and more mature, actually, no, we're 12 months, 11 months.
It's been almost a year.
Well, yeah. So now we are older than we were before, and still know significantly less than we did at that time.
That's how time works.
But yeah. I think that this will be good. Hopefully you guys like it. If it sucks, leave us a 5-star review below and tell us why it sucked.
That's one way to get engagements on a podcast.
Yeah, please engage with the podcast.
Well, yeah, if you don't like it, like the video and comment down below why you didn't like it.
Whatever platform you're watching this on, engage as much as possible. We're very small.
Would you stop fucking around with plastic or some shit?
I was cleaning up my desk a little bit.
Maybe you should clean up your desk beforehand.
Well, I'm in college and I have no time.
Nick, I'm also in college and I'm laying in my fucking bed right now.
Yeah, you're at a community college though.
Still a college.
It's debatable.
It still counts.
You are correct. It does still count. Okay, so our topics for today. Kind of just some current events. Antonio Brown was released from the Raiders.
The Raiders? Hey, if it's any better, when I was practicing for bringing this up, I kept calling him Anthony Brown.
Yeah, no, Antonio Brown was released from the Oakland City Radios today. He
Oakland City Radio.
So let me look at.
It's the Oakland Raiders, Nick.
I'm just gonna call them the Radios.
I don't know if you were actually joking when you said there. If you're being serious.
Okay, so Antonio Brown, according to Jeff Darlington, they took away his guarantees, and he said he would not play.
Oh yeah, did they completely void his contract then?
Yes, they did.
Holy shit, that was a $29 million contract, wasn't it?
So that was 8 hours ago. Then 3 hours after that, the Raiders released him. And then 8 minutes ago, the Patriots signed him to a 1-year deal with a $9 million signing bonus.
Brady about to get number 7.
You're probably
the GOAT.
Right, but
the GOAT. Mitchell, he's actually the greatest of all time.
Yes, I'm aware of that. It's unfortunate.
Well, I say this because people there are a certain amount of people who just refuse to believe that.
Well, that's all a matter of opinion, and we can debate that. But right now, we should talk about what do you think the Raiders' reasons were? What do you think they could have done better? What do you think of Antonio Brown's behavior?
Well, I think you all kind of see this coming together with the whole helmet debacle, because he was being a little bitch about his helmet, and then
let's be careful about how many multi-millionaire influencers we call out on the first episode.
Okay, and then the whole verbal altercation with who was it? Yeah, the GM in practice, and then tapping his phone and recording that conversation with Gruden, and releasing that video last night. I was scrolling through Twitter last night, and I saw on Antonio Brown's Twitter. I saw that. I was like, oh, this has got to be good. And it's just a conversation with them. I was like, oh, shit, this is a phone call.
Yeah. I think, personally, I think that his behavior is completely unacceptable and completely unwarranted. I think that Antonio Brown has lost a lot of perspective about what his role is as part of a football team, about what his role is
and like
in the
he kind of
public
said that in
spotlight.
the phone call too. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm more than football. Like, you guys don't get that. Like, he's bigger than. I agree with that to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is bigger than football, but there comes a point where you got to stop having just thrown a fit about the smallest of things.
And I think that for a lot of young people, especially people around my age, football players, who are looking to make it big, people around our age, not my age, whatever.
Yeah, I'm
that
older than you, Nick.
Any football players listening to this, drop a 5-star review in the comments down below.
No. We don't know what you're talking about. We never played past like 6th grade.
Yeah. No, we're completely uneducated. These are all opinions, just surely for your enjoyment. I think that he's setting a bad example. I think that he's making it too much about himself and about the money. And I just think
I don't think it was necessarily about the money. I think it was more about his like personal brand.
Yeah.
Kind of like with the whenever you see stuff about like how the Celtics kind of fell apart last year, like you always felt like Jaylen Brown was just trying to protect his brand. Like that was even in the Game of Zones episode. They were like with the whole like soul box. They're like, "What about you, Jaylen?" She's like, "I'm just trying to build my brand." So I feel like it was more just about building his own personal brand than it was the actual money.
No, that team in general was way too orientated toward themselves.
Yeah.
But I think that Antonio Brown is kind of like the product of a bigger problem.
And it also doesn't help that he's like best friends with one of the NBA's biggest douchebags, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, that's true. They're very similar.
Dude, what if Antonio Brown pulled a Jimmy Butler and had the 4th string players come out and play the starters?
That's not really how it works in football, though.
That would have been legendary.
That's not really how it works in football.
I'm sure they have 4th stringer. They have third and 4th stringers.
The dynamics of the game are a lot different.
That would have been legendary if he did that and then beat the starters.
The first stringers would just run over the 4th-string linemen.
That's what they thought would happen in Minnesota, but no.
No, like the dynamics.
Jimmy Butler fucking crushed the starters.
Yeah, that was a lot. No, I just think that Antonio Brown is acting very childish, and I think that it's probably a product of larger media influence, larger society, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But okay, what else is going on? You had some topics. I'll look at some more current events.
Yeah, well, sports was one of them. Shower thoughts, Nick. I know you dabble in this.
I do dabble in this.
You have a whole notebook that you write shit in.
That is true. I do not have that notebook with me right now.
Oh, damn. Did you leave it at home?
It might be. I hope my mom doesn't find that.
That'd be a big yikes. Actually, I have my notebook from RYS when I wrote shit down in there, sitting right here. I just saw it on the floor. Let me read some. Let me see if I can find some of this stuff. Banger jokes. A bomb. That's actually what it says.
Oh my gosh.
Second one is virginity rocks. It doesn't. Kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, not a fan of virginity. At least for the time being, until I lose it. Then I'll probably miss it really badly.
Where did goats come from if they all die?
What? They have baby goats.
But they die.
Yes, and those goats have goats.
Oh, if herpes is an STD and it's spread by kissing, is kissing sex?
No, herpes is classified as a disease that's spread by contact by bodily fluids, so not necessarily physical sex. If kissing is sex, then I'm not a virgin.
Never ask for ransom, just kill them. That's...
Then what's the point of the kidnapping?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. That was your...
No, there's one more.
Oh, there's one more.
Wait. I think I just had a stroke halfway through this. It's just random letters and shit.
Okay, everybody, that was your 2 minutes and 30 seconds of shower thoughts with Mitchell.
Yeah, I can't read any of it. Like, I swear I had like a stroke. Like the other ones are cock and balls. You like dick and balls. Boom roasted. What?
I gotta find that notebook, man.
Sounds like communist propaganda to me, but okay.
Oh yeah, I
Some
remember
unoriginal stuff.
That was you wrote that during one of the seminars at convention.
Yeah, it was one of the sessions.
So you were talking about like a life insurance policy for everyone, and you wrote that and showed it to me.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
all right,
I did.
All right, so our next topic is going to be a little more serious than shower thoughts. What do you think of social media, specifically, at least in this time? We can talk about other forms of social media later. But right now, I'm specifically talking about Instagram. What do you think about the effect of Instagram, of kids as young as 8 years old having Instagram?
Well, 8 years old, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fucking young. Like, I wasn't allowed to have, like, I remember in the 5th grade, the one thing I wanted was, Facebook. Because that was, like, the one thing everybody had. And I remember when I got it, it was just very underwhelming. And then, but like 8 years old, damn. That's really young to get, I feel, to get thrusted into that.
I just looked it up. Okay, 64% of Instagram users are between 18 and 29 years old. That means 2 out of every 3 adults between that that age group is using it.
I feel like it's got its ups and downs, but in one song that I listened to, "Clickbait" by Logic, he literally says in the song, "I always post that I'm having a good time, so my life looks perfect online." That's what it pretty much is. You only really post the good things in your life, so your life looks perfect when you're looking at it from that perspective. When obviously everybody's got stuff going on inside that nobody knows about. But like with me and you, like when we went to Kansas City, we posted the last night.
Yeah.
When we sat front row in right field.
Yep, and that was my first post in 11 months.
Yeah, that was my first post since senior night of basketball season. I feel like we have this unwritten rule that you have to post stuff, because if you don't, you're like, well, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you posting stuff? Like, I literally got that question from my sisters on the night of high school graduation. Like, why didn't you post stuff? Like, well, first of all, I wasn't able to go, but we'll get into that later. But like everybody else was like, dude, that's a big moment. You should post something about that. And like, what am I gonna do? Post a senior picture? It's not like I have a picture of me in my gown and cap. It's a picture. I didn't want to because of that sole reason.
And I think that a lot of it is posting something kind of cheapens it. You know, I didn't post anything when I graduated, mostly because I forgot to. But I think part of it was I didn't really see the point, you know? Because the people I really wanted to share that moment with were there. They were there for me in that moment. The people who were important to me got in contact with me if they weren't there. You know, cards, stuff like that, handwritten letters. And I saw so many people, you know, I mean, you post this Instagram post, you know, with filters, and it's all these pictures of you and your best friends forever, you know, finishing high school, on to college. You know,
We'll never forget this moment. Like, all that.
You've got like 25
stereotypical bullshit.
Yeah, you've got like 25 hashtags to increase engagement because you're just looking for the likes, right?
Yeah, I think we can also tie this into more like validation. Like, people do that because they want to feel validated by their peers.
The problem is there's no legitimate validation in that. Legitimate validation comes from relationships with family and friends, with people who care about you. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's so easy to just go on Instagram and be like, I got this many likes, you know, these people are my friends and these people aren't, you know. That's not really how it works.
Yeah, like, I can't remember
lots
which
of people
one
post just because I don't go on Instagram.
Yeah, I can't remember which podcast it was, but on the Misfits, they talked about that, and I think Swagger and Fitz talked about how, like, they never post stuff on Instagram anymore because they're like, why am I doing this? Like, there's really no point to it.
Also, hey, shout out to the Misfits podcast.
Shout out to Fitz specifically because he told me that I straight up I will put this clip in this podcast. He literally said, "Dude, start a podcast. You'll be great at it."
Do you have that video pulled to audio? And play
I have. Oh,
I want to hear.
Shit, where's my phone? I can't find my phone.
Mitchell, you look for your phone. I'm going to talk to the listeners. For you, the listeners who don't know about the Misfits podcast, the Misfits podcast is a group of gamers, YouTubers actually, who started a podcast. And one of their main members, kind of the grandfather of them all, Fitz, was doing a Minecraft stream, and Mitchell here donated $10, and Fitz told him to go start a podcast. So this podcast is the brainchild of the one and only Fitz. So Fitz, if you ever hear this, I very much doubt that you will.
I have it.
Yeah. This is your responsibility, Fitz. We are your children. Okay, you missed the entire rant, but you'll hear it.
Okay, here we go.
Great, man. I mean, that's not actually pretty pog, but that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Start a podcast now. Like, you'll be great. You'll be fine.
All right, that probably didn't sound too good, but you know what? Fuck it.
You can
I'm gonna put that clip in the actual video.
Yeah, just
when
put
I edit
the
this.
clip right there where that audio part was.
Yeah, it won't be too hard for me to get.
Yeah, shout out Fitz, shout out the Misfits. If this blows up, it's your problem.
We'd love to have you on the podcast.
I mean, he's not wrong. But considering right now we're recording our first episode, we have 0 listeners. So
we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, it would be a good time. All right. Anyway, what was your next topic, Mitchell?
Shoes. Me and you are both very, very into shoes. We both love them.
Oh, for those of you, I recently saw a poll on social media. Don't judge me for what I just said earlier about social media, and now I'm going to be talking about being on social media. That sentence didn't make sense. But I saw a poll, and a bunch of people rated the Jordan Fragments, the royal blue ones, as their top sneaker of all time. Top sneaker of all time. Yeah. That is a $3,000 pair of sneakers, so I don't know who's voting for that, but good for you.
Yeah.
But leave a comment down below what your favorite pair of sneakers is. Even if you don't care about sneakers, it could be Crocs. I honestly love a good pair of Crocs.
Yeah, like I can get behind like a good like yellow pair of Crocs.
Yeah, I was playing basketball today at the college I attend, the university. But someone was playing in Crocs, and Croc came off my foot and hit me in the face. And
did they bust the Crocs?
Honestly, no, it just flew off their foot. Oh. It felt like a baptism. I was baptized into the Croc life with sweat and foot smell.
Oh, no.
It was magnificent. So shout out Crocs and some dude named Brian, who I played basketball with in Crocs.
I mean, I played basketball yesterday and I got dunked on, so.
Let's talk about that. What happened?
Set
up the court for us.
So there's like 4 basketball hoops, probably like a 4-minute walk away from my apartment, maybe even 2 minutes. And I go and play there Monday, Wednesday, Friday after class. So I'm usually there from about 2:30 to 5. And I was just shooting around by myself, no one's there. And he's probably like 6'5", 6'6", pretty built. He's like, he's not pretty, but he's fucking yoked. Like, he is cut. And he's like, yo, you want to play some one-on-one? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then we start talking. He offers me weed. I decline.
It's that guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's that guy. Turns out this dude played junior college down in South Carolina, averaged 25 points per game, got an offer from North Texas, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Was it North Texas? I don't think it was North Texas. North something. A D1 school turned it down and came here.
What?
This man's turned down a D1 offer.
Why?
He kicked my ass, by the way. I mean, we played to 21. Yeah. I lost 21-14. Then we played to 11. I lost 11-8. He dunked on me both games.
Well, that happens to the best of us.
Like that cheap move where you go down to the corner and you do a crossover and you go up around and you dunk from the front.
Just run down the baseline.
Yeah, he did that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was pretty good. I'll give it to him. It took him a while to get warmed up, but eventually he got there and just started, whooping my ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, I might actually be trying out for my school's basketball team here in a couple months.
Nice.
So,
we kind of got off the topic of shoes, but that's cool.
Well, basketball and shoes kind of go hand in hand. I mean,
Yeah.
the traditional shoe is the Jordan 1.
We and you both have a couple pairs of those.
That is true. They will hopefully be in transit soon. Recently, put down an offer on a pair of Nike Gator boots.
Gator
Platinum.
Oh, those?
Yep.
Oh, dude, those are dope.
Hoping I can get them decently cheap.
Yeah, I mean, why'd you put an offer down? They were like, what were they, like 95 used?
Yeah, I want to see
under
if he
retail.
Bites. If he doesn't bite by the end of the day today, I'm gonna buy them.
I got them right here. They're under retail 14s or 95 if you want no lid on the box.
I'm fine with no lid. That's a good thing.
Yeah, what'd you put the offer on?
Like 85.
Dude,
I always
these are brand new.
I always try to bait the seller to go a little bit lower every time.
Yeah, those Gator boots are really I really like those.
Yeah.
Didn't you put an offer down on those Yin Yangs, on those Jordan 1 Yin Yangs too?
I did. It was, I believe he had them up for $150. I put down an offer for $135, I think. Then someone bought them for $150. So.
Oh. Yeah.
I
mean, I'm looking at buying that. What were they? I mean, eventually, someday, I would love to have a pair of off-whites.
That is true, but
specifically those the off-white Blazer mid Grim Reapers, specifically those, because I love those shoes.
Those are pretty dope. I assume you'll be putting pictures in for all these. So
absolutely. But I feel like the next shoe I'm gonna buy is probably either gonna be the Jordan 1 multicolors like you got, or they're called Jordan 1 Retro High OG Respect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, the ones with, like, the words kind of engraved. Not really engraved, but, like, in the black part of the leather.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you listening, if you don't know, our topic stream is kind of serious topic, less serious topic. Still more on sneakers, though. There was a guy today it was yesterday, wearing the Jordan 11 Reds Win Like 96s. And he wore them really, really well. Or was it 86? Win Like 86 or Win Like 96?
I think they're the 96s.
Yeah,
because you sent me that yesterday. You told me about those.
Yep, and he wore them so well. He had a black pair of sweatpants that had a red and white stripe down the side, and then a gray Champion sweatshirt, and it just looked really good. So, shout out to that guy and his...
Yeah, so I'm going to start telling my story now. I saw a dude wearing a pair of Air Jordan Retro High OG Obsidians, like the brand new ones that just dropped. They're #1 trending on GOAT right now. They're like, okay, I'm talking about, the OG Obsidians that just dropped last week?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a kid wearing...
Are those the ones that are like, they're kind of like a pale blue?
They kind of look like North Carolina colors.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, I saw a guy wearing those. It was either yesterday or Thursday.
Yeah, I saw there was a guy in it was my Engineering 101 class who was wearing the Adidas 4Ds Pure White. Mm-hmm. The ones with the 4D printed sole?
Yeah.
And they just look so good, man.
Yeah, there's a guy in my Intro to Criminal Justice class that always wear the same white pair of Air Maxes every day, but they're like really, really nice looking Air Maxes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I respect it.
But I'm like, I literally sat there, I was like, oh, those shoes would get... The one thing I don't like about the Air Maxes is one like step with too much like power into it, and you're popping that back thing and you ruin the shoe.
Yeah, someone was walking in front of me yesterday with a popped Air Max, and it was like, floop,
Yeah, my dad used to have a pair of Air Maxes for running, like the running Air Max when they like first kind of came out for that. And he had it for like maybe a month before they popped.
The bubble popped. Yeah.
And then he had to buy a new pair of shoes, which my dad, like when I started getting into buying relatively expensive shoes, my first pair of shoes that I bought were those Jordan 1, the high top pine greens.
Yeah,
those were $250. Yeah, he gave me unending amounts of shit for those. And then I bought those mid-top 3s, and he gives me even more shit for those, even though technically speaking, he bought me those because those were my graduation gift from my parents. They still haven't paid me back for those, but hey, it's all right.
The first pair I bought was Jordan Mids, multicolored. Oh, fuck. What'd you drop?
Nothing.
Okay, and they were actually a gift from my older brother, who is in possession of way too many pairs of Yeezys.
And then gives you shit for buying these.
I know. So, Matt, if you're listening, the Butter Yeezys are not the best-looking shoe, and you should stop wearing them with short socks. All right, next topic.
I was on Instagram, and I follow a page called Kickfeed. This dude was wearing high-top Jordans with no socks.
He's wearing high-top Jordans with socks?
With no socks.
With no socks? What the hell?
Socks.
Do you at least have them unlaced with the toe open?
I'm going to pretend like I know what that means.
Okay, did he have the shoes tied, or were they...
No, he didn't have the shoes tied.
Okay, that's better at least. But
I really like that look, but I feel like you have to lace... The shoe looks way too loose for that. And if I could find a way to lace my Jordans in a good way and not have to tie them, kind of like in Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
The kid that wore those Jordans. If I could find a way to lace mine like
I'm
that,
thinking
I
about
would really
just
like
buying
that.
a pair that's a size too small, and then
just lace them up like
just
that.
leaving the laces out, because then they just stay on. But
Yeah. I also just bought those those height extension insoles for my shoes.
For those of you who don't know, Mitchell is about 6'3", and he just bought 3.5-foot extensions for his soles of his shoes.
I bought an insole you put in your shoe that extends your height, and there's 3 variations of it. The base one gives you a height boost, I think, of 1.25 inches. The second one is 2 inches, or 2.5. And the third one brings you all the way up to 3.5 inches taller. But on the reviews I read on them, it was like, do not put all 3 in. If you put all 3 in, your shoe will be way too tight and it will be way too noticeable. I'd be 6'6.5" if I put all 3 of those in.
For those of you listening, I would be roughly 6'9" if I did that.
Yeah,
so.
I'm thinking about if I ever go home. The first time I go back, I'm actually thinking about going back next week if my parents don't come up here, because I ordered a pair of headphones. And they're getting delivered Tuesday. I have them just shipped to my house in Hartley.
Yeah.
And if they don't come next week, I'll just go home. And hey, that gives me. I'll go home Friday. I'll go to a football game. Go to Unity's football game, depending if they have a game or if it's home or away.
Hey, are you allowed to go to those yet?
Yeah, I've been allowed back on campus as of August 1.
Sweet. Okay. For those of you. And most of you probably won't know what Mitchell did, but we'll talk about that in a future episode. But
I'm cool with it now.
No, we've got some other topics
save it for a
today.
future episode.
Yeah, but we'll just call it the story.
I made jokes about a pretty sensitive topic that some people didn't like.
Yeah, so Mitchell wasn't allowed on campus for about 4 months, but we'll come back to that.
I'm gonna guess the majority of people listening to this right now will know about it. It's just once we grow our audience, people probably won't know about it.
Yeah, that's true. And that is the goal, grow the audience. So please engage with the channel.
Subscribe, notification. Leave a like down in the comments and like the like.
Like the like. That was the most.
My audio recording is at 69 megabytes.
Nice. Mine's at 72. Why am I beating you?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
you've been talking more probably.
How long do you want to make this?
I mean, I'm at 30 minutes right now. We can go for another 15.
Okay, yeah.
No, probably, depending on stuff I cut out, how I edit it, I'll probably get us to 35 minutes.
Yeah. On to a more serious topic. Things you wish you did, but you didn't. So, we're both very young. that's part of the perspective we bring to the table. But I'd say things I wish I did.
I wish I tried freshman year.
I wish I had gotten out of my shell before junior year of high school.
Well, it also didn't help you transferred after your freshman year.
That is true. And I also wish that I would have spent more time with friends, because I just didn't. I was afraid to go out socially until about middle of my junior year, when I kind of hit my stride, and I was just terrified. So I didn't have really any long-term friends until senior year, which was hard because then I left for college. So
yeah. I wish I actually tried my freshman year. Like, my freshman year, I didn't give a fuck. Like, it was... And it really fucked me up for the rest of high school, because it was like, you know what, like, everybody was like, oh, don't worry, you don't really have to try your freshman year. And then it's like, well, I'm not doing very good. I got like a 2.4 GPA my freshman year.
yeah, for those of you...
It took me all 3 years of high school to get that up to, like, I graduated with a 2.9.
Mm-hmm. So me and Mitchell, we've been friends since we were little kids, but I bounced schools around
Fourth
schools
grade.
a lot. Yeah,
Fourth grade is when we first met.
Uh-huh. But I bounced around schools a lot, and I don't think we could be more any of opposite personalities. Mitchell screwed around a lot in high school and is going to be a criminal justice major, and I...
For some reason, I'm going to be a cop.
Yeah, Mitchell's going to be a snitch. But
Hey, no, I've been snitched on. That ain't fun.
Mitchell's gonna be... No, but I was a solid nerd through most of high school till my senior year, and I'm an engineering major. So me and Mitchell took different paths.
Very different paths.
But
like you said, you bounced around schools a lot. You skipped the 3rd grade, went to the 4th grade with me. I still remember that first day. It was like, raise your hand if you're in a class with someone you've never been in a class with before, and everyone raised their hand because you were there. And then you were there 5th grade. Then you went homeschooled 6th through 8th grade. Then you were at Unity your freshman year, and then you transferred to MOC the rest, and now you're at wherever you're at now. You're gonna transfer halfway through that.
Maybe I will. We'll have to see what happens. But
yo, transfer to ISU, because that's where I'm finishing out my criminal justice degree. We can rock the Hawkeye stuff in the middle of the Iowa State student section.
Yeah, maybe I would just go to U of I if I were to transfer to a state school. But
I really wanted to go to Iowa, but then I found out that Iowa doesn't have a criminal justice program. They have criminology. And it really does. When it comes to being a cop, it really doesn't matter what you have, as long as you have that 2 or 4 year degree. You're pretty much guaranteed a job. But the reason I want that 4 years is because I'm guaranteed faster promotions and better pay. Or better pay with a 4 year. And I just really want that criminal justice over criminology. Because with criminology, I have to take more I have to take more psychology classes and sociology classes and social studies.
Jobs is that there's so many available jobs because no one wants to do it. Because the media is just lighting them up. And now is the time for the social commentary part of the podcast, if you didn't know that already. So, kind of growing up, watching the elections around me, I'd say, politics. No, I'd say police officers in general.
Dude, okay, on politics, in my criminal justice class, we always talk about, for some reason we bring up, some politicians always come up, and every time our professor or teacher, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he brings up, the politicians say this, everyone's like, oh, the politicians, they never lie. Okay, we get it. You made the joke 5 times in the first class. Stop it. The joke's dead.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm done with
that
that rant.
Long rant. It was 15 seconds. But
it was a rant nonetheless.
What I think is that there are good cops, and there's a lot of good cops that go out there and they lay down their lives every day for the right reasons. And then there's cops that are bad people. They're racists, and they do things for the wrong reasons, and they're out to get people. But I think that those cops are few and far between.
Yeah.
I think that those cops
Yeah, there's always the exception, and the bad cops are always the one that get highlighted by the media, so everybody thinks that they're the majority, when in reality they're the very, 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 very small minority.
Disgrace the uniform they wear when they do that, and I think that
yeah, like most of the time, when you like say you get pulled over, neither one of you want to be in that situation. The cop doesn't want to be there. You don't want to be there. The more polite you are, the more likely you are to get out of a ticket. Because
it's my bag
what
of
the
Cheerios.
hell is going on? Okay, is this the ASMR section?
This is brief break from Mitchell's social commentary. The ASMR bag crinkling of the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh God, you're peeking so hard. You're like you talking is so muffled.
All right, there we go. That segment is now over. Mitchell will go back to his social commentary.
I can't even remember what I was talking about anymore. Yeah, the more, like I said, the more polite you are, the more likely you are to get out of a ticket. And like, I've been in situations where, you see, I haven't been in the situation, but our professor told stories about situations he's been in, where he pulls the person over fully ready to give them a warning, not even like a written warning, just a verbal warning, and say, get out of here. But they're like, how could you pull me over? You were hiding there. You're not allowed to hide. You need this, and this. And the guy's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a ticket for this, and I'm gonna give you something that, like, when the cop looks at your looks your license up, it says that you were disrespect.
Yeah, it's a law.
I
don't remember what it's called, but it's a law that if someone, there's two levels of it. There's disrespect for a police officer. And then there's no regard for the lives of police officers and first responders. So if you have that tagged on your license, you're almost guaranteed a ticket. Every single time.
Every single time you get pulled over, even if it's for like 3 or 4 over. And the guy's like, you know what? Just because you're being this much of an asshole, I'm gonna give you like the first level of it. The second level, there has to be like an absolute, like, the dude just almost hit you with his car or some shit like that.
I think the thing is there's a lack of respect for what they do every single day, and
it also doesn't help that I don't want to say our culture, because I don't like using that word. Society now kind of just pins every bad thing on cops.
And I think that there are bad cops, but I think that we need to look at other social issues, because let's be honest, the majority of cops are not going out looking for a minority to shoot when they wake up in the morning. Okay? And they're there to protect you. That's what they're there for. And, we've grown up in kind of a unique time. We've grown up in an age where there's unrestricted access to all the information you could ever need. And I think that...
Yeah, you can, if you want to know, you can literally look up anything whenever you want. You can literally know almost anything.
Exploded the stereotype of dirty cops and racist cops and homophobic cops or what have you. I don't know. There's a million different variations, right? So I think that, I don't know. That's just kind of my 2 cents on the issue. If you disagree, leave a 5-star review in the comments below. If you agree, leave a 6-star review in the comments below. I'm going to shamelessly plug myself the entire time because we have no viewers.
Dude, the amount of self-promo in this is unmatched.
Hey, ain't no such thing as bad press.
Ain't no laws.
That is a fact.
Claws.
But you're 18, so we're not allowed to know that.
What wouldn't you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea what I'm talking about either.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about? And I think we should just finish this with... I feel like a lot of teenagers, if anyone listens to this, they'll be teenagers. So...
If they even listen this far into it, that is.
Just take it easy, guys. There's a lot of pressures, a lot of stresses on teenagers these days. We'll talk about that more in other episodes. But
life sucks. Get used to it.
The world is a terrible place. And we're all just working to make it better. And remember, it's the good small things That keep you going during the day?
I'll do me, you do you, we won't do each other, probably.
That entirely depends on what you look like.
That is not my joke either. That is a joke from a Five Nights at Freddy's Markiplier video from like 3.5, 4 years ago.
All right.
But yeah, like just keep your head up. You do you, people.
So a quote from
have confidence.
Gandalf.
Don't be a pussy.
I found it as small everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. So you're going to be bombarded every day with terrible stuff and bad thinking, bad people, people who want to destroy you. And just remember.
I'm sorry. I thought of a really funny thing.
Gandalf's got your back, bro. Just remember Gandalf's got your back. What, Mitchell? What?
I thought, you know that stupid video where it's just Gandalf bobbing his head to the music? I just thought of that. And it's just playing on repeat in my head. Alright. You're having this, like, deep conversation, and I'm just sitting here looking at that.
Yeah, that was
great.
Yeah, so just take it easy. Mitchell.
This has been the Adultish podcast. If you leave a like.
Okay, Mitchell's bad at outros, so this has been the Adultish podcast. The name is in the works. We'll come out with some studio art soon, hopefully.
We also don't have a in-stone like upload schedule for this. At the time, it's probably going to be once a month, but hopefully we can get that like maybe once every 2 weeks.
To talk about anything relatable, but stay fresh, cheese bags.